Hello. So this talk is about a recent project that I started. It's a domain, kitun.com. Most of people don't know, but Malayalam domains are a possibility, but we hardly see any Malayalam domains. So this was made in Kundangalam literally because I live in Kundangalam. So you can see the source code directly at this GitHub URL. Okay. So what I will just directly demonstrate. So let's say, so somebody asks you to open a slides ever. So you can just reply slides@kitun.com. So this domain actually works. You can see that it's two subdomains, slides.appo.kitun.com. So anything that's prefixed to this domain will work. There will be a website there. So I can actually show the demo right itself now. So this Malayalam typing tool is something that I created also. It's called Varnam project. If you have a Mac and you can't type Malayalam, you can use the software to type Malayalam easily on Mac. So slides.appo.kitun.com. You can't do com as Malayalam. Okay. Oh, that I will mention in the slides. So I want to replace that dot with it's an SSL error. I want to replace that dot with dash and it should work. I hope so. Yeah, so you can see that the title is different, but the thing is that this depends on what the domain that you type. So this because it says Appo, if it ends with Appo, it will just give Nokiruneppakutum. But if you replace that with something else, let's say slides.kitun.com, you can just directly get the title. So it's rule-based dynamic website. So anything that you prepend, there will be a website. That's for sure. There will be a website. So you can type anything and that suffix it with kitun.com. Okay. So this is basically the project. And another example. So this happened in Reddit. So this was a rant about KSRTC being shitty in Kerala. So you can say some people were like, actually KSRTC is very low to North Malabar. So that's a rant that everyone usually makes. So this one parent comment said we should result in more in the North. So you can just directly reply. So somebody will go to this site and you can say what will the result. So you can, there's like multiple places the way you can use this domain and you can like contextualize whatever things that you want to. Like I will explain more of that in the examples. Okay, so now there's the origin story of how kitun.com was started. But if you are an early internet user in Kerala, you will probably know this. So it was back in 2012. 1 year since Umman Chandi was sworn in as a CM. This was just 1 year. And December 21 was the world ending day, but that didn't happen. But I don't know how many of you remember this, but on December 21, the day when it was predicted that the world will end is the day when Gangnam Style became the 1 billion views video. So that was happening on the same day. I still remember that day very well because I was expecting the world to end, but it didn't happen. But Gangnam Style reached 1 billion views. That was the first time in the history that a video reaches 1 billion views on YouTube. And it's also in that same year a website was created, which I will explain later. Okay, I'm supposed to add a question here, but I forgot to buy a chocolate. So I will probably give you a GPay or UPay or something. Okay. So who is this guy? Okay, I guess I will have to buy many chocolates. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how many of you remember, he was the Minister of Education in 2011 to 16 in Manjani's ministry. So it was a bit of controversial the way this was when he was an education minister, but this year is also controversial, so it's fine. I don't know how many, I'm a 2015 SLC batch graduate, so I think you know the controversy behind what happened in 2015 SLC exam results. Anybody know? Yeah. So for others that you don't know, everyone, like the most number of A+ was in SLC 15 batch. I also got full A+ by the way. So thanks to Abdurrahman, it was a very fantastic year for memes as well as students. So a meme I remember was that the guy who tried to sneak away from the rain also got full A+. That was kind of a jokes back in the Facebook on at that time. So after this SLC exam results, after the next year also started, right? 2015 June 1 would be the next school year. But there was another controversy there. So it took, usually in government schools, there will be a bit of delay to get the textbooks. That was a normal thing back then. But this time it took more than that, 1 month more. So people were like, when will the kids get textbooks? I think everyone just wanted to troll Abdurrahman. That was like a common thing back then. So people, there was this website I told you. So if anyone go to Google and search for Padapusthakam Eppa Kittum, and the result will be Noki So this website, this is Manglish website, nokiirunnoippakuttum.com. It was registered in 2012, that domain. The developer of that is now not in Kerala, he is working abroad. But that domain was there. So anything that is suffixed with Eppo or something, I think this was because of Google's bug in a way. The SEO would result in this website being shown as the first result. So anything that you prefix it, so let's say salary Eppo same result would come. Okay, so that is how this domain got popular, and news coverage also started happening for that. So, and another controversy what happened was in 2016, there was a rationary problem, and same thing happened, rationary Eppo, then same thing happened. Other medias would cover, so this got popular back in the day. Okay. So this was the Manglish domain, nokiirunnoippakuttum.com. But Malayalam domains has been a thing since 2010. So anybody could register a Malayalam domain, and that is possible since 2010. But you don't. It's been 13 years now, but you hardly know any Malayalam domains that we have, right? You hardly see any Malayalam domains. So if you want to know more about how the Malayalam domains came into being, you can read this book. SMC has a blog on it. So SMC is one of the organizations that is doing the proposal bit of when this happened. There are a lot of consideration to be taken, and the Malayalam Unicode is actually very screwed up. So there are multiple problems therein as well. So there's like, I don't know if you know, but if you are on Windows and you say you want to type India, Ende, you can see that the Na Chandrakala Ra wouldn't render properly. I think many of you know that problem. That problem, so that's a very screwed up problem, but if I go into that, it will get more ranting and ranting, so I'm not going to go into that. But the problem is that when you buy domain names, it is possible to register two .coms. So Ende.com can be registered in 6 different ways, because the Unicode characters actually has a problem there. But there is no way Malayalam can escape that, because it is part of Unicode standard. Okay, so you can go into SMC blog. There is already a blog on how screwed up Malayalam Unicode is. Okay, so this is the so there needs to be talk back and forth when you implement something like Malayalam domains. So if you look at these kind of domains, non-English domains, there's a problem, because DNS actually understands ASCII only. It only understands English. So what ICANN is the organization for domain names. So what they did was they invent this called Punycode. So Punycode, what it does is that it will convert this kittum.com, and it is actually an English domain. So if you go to the browser and if you go to the inspect element and you can see that the browser is showing Malayalam directly. The domain is correct, but actually underneath it, the domain is actually this one. So it's you can actually read this one, but what the browsers and other softwares are expected is to convert this Punycode and show it as in the correct Malayalam format. But some software still doesn't know it. Reddit is one example. So Reddit has problem rendering. The old Reddit has problem. What will happen is it will domain that X and thing. There. Okay, so this is what Punycode is. Now Punycode is like a representation of Unicode characters to ASCII. So this doesn't mean this is from Malayalam. Any Unicode character. Emoji domains are a thing, by the way. You can type, I'm not sure, there's a short link something which has an emoji.com. So this will be like a chocolate.com. You can actually register that. You can have an emoji chocolate and you put in that and you can have it register as a .com. So that is also possible these days. So if you have a domain like mangakittum.com, so what it actually is that there are two subversions of that. So the subdomain will be one Punycode. The root domain will also have another Punycode. So this is what they actually are. So this is very ugly, to be honest. So you can't actually send this URL. It will most likely looking like it's a virus or something. So you have to make sure that you send it as Malayalam itself. But I think the problem with this problem is that if I send this URL to someone, it's actually a joke, but they would actually be scared that this might be a virus site or scammy site or something. So why make kittum.com? It's fun, of course. I mean, you go to a Reddit post and you can just reply and everybody will like confused. Wow, what is this website for? Malayalam domains, like I said, there are hardly any Malayalam domains. There is this domain like I recently discovered, Malayalam.com itself. Malayalam.com. So there is this one site, and it is describing. I'm not sure who built this site, but I think it was specially built for the Madhurabhasha Dinam, I think on February 21. So someone has built this site. I'm not sure why. I think Manorama.com is also registered in this way, and it is redirecting back to Manorama Online. So since it was back in 2000, some people have reserved domains, and it's also a good application of wildcard subdomain. So that is, this is not going to be the technical part. So the front end is in Vue.js, back end is in Go, and the reverse proxy that is used for serving the site is Caddy. Okay, the first problem. HTTPS is the first problem. So usually domains will, most of the domains, at least now for Google or anywhere, HTTPS is a minimum requirement. You need a website that should be HTTPS. So that's the problem here. So you previously shown that the slides or any subdomain that is suffix.kitun.com wouldn't work. It shows a secure connection failure because HTTPS is not possible when the domains are like suffix, more and more. So there are like multiple subdomains, it is hardly difficult. So CAD what does is that whenever there is a new website coming, so whenever there is a new subdomain coming, CAD will automatically generate an SSL certificate. CAD will automatically generate the HTTPS certificate and CAD will serve it up. That is why any domain can be produced. So any website will be existing on that. So let's say I'm going to do something else. So it can be Malayalam, it can be any language as well. So any domain will be existing there. And the SSL certificate will be directly initiated when the site is being loaded. So this is very fast because this is hosted in Hyderabad. Okay. And yeah, so that's one problem that was solved. So the problem is there, yeah. So you can actually, the best way is to prefix with dot. You can like prefix it so much as back as you want. But the problem is SSL won't be there. So that is why you have to have the dashes. So that's why we have to replace it with dashes. And the only dot will be on the first part, that's the last part of the software. So single level wildcard certificates are only possible. So this is a certificate level problem. There's no solution to this, and hence why you have to be replaced by dashes. So this is how the CAD file configuration of that looks. You can see that when you configure this in the server system, you can't type in Malayalam itself the actual domain. So even when you register a domain on the site, the actual domain will be registering will be in this way. And this is how, oh shit, I revealed the API key. I will renew it today. Okay. The next problem would be SEO. Anyway, I will say, so what is as a Namecheap is the site register. So what is as a every time a new domain says that verification is done through Namecheap itself, and that is how the domain will. So that is why it needs an API key. Okay, then the second problem is the SEO part. So how will you make Google learn this? So if I go to let's say paadavustamappagoto.com, I'm not sure. Oh no, biryani is good. I think the GitHub is linking with biryani appakuttum, so let's make that. If I search this on Google now, yeah, okay, that's showing a salary appakuttum. Okay, anyway, so it will show the kitun.com now. So how will you make Google learn that this website is there? So that's another. So the GitHub repo is already there. So you need to make Google learn the website itself. So anyway, if anybody search for something with prefix with kitun.com, you need to get Google's result as well. So you need to populate the title tag and other meta tags as soon as the website is served. And I followed Vue's official server-side rendering, and it was very buggy, and the Express server randomly crashed, and I couldn't figure out why it was happening. So people started raising issues. So I'm like, I'm not sure like why it was happening because it was JavaScript problems mostly, and people started making kitun.com, appakutun.com. So that's inverse way of saying it. But the domain wouldn't work. So the problem was if I think I will have less time, I guess, right? So I can probably explain everything. Yeah. So this is the tree where we can see that JavaScript has a module problem. I won't get into this because this is just problem. That's it. So the problem to solution would be to just remove JavaScript. I just wanted to go. And another comedy is that in Go we call a JavaScript engine, which is the Chrome engine, and the Chrome engine would. So what it does is that when you get a domain, it will convert it. It will be in Punicode. So that Punicode will be converted into Malayalam back, and the Malayalam needs to be displayed to the title tag. So to do this, I have to call JavaScript code from Go with Chrome's V8 engine. So it's a bit problematic, but it was fun though. And I made a blog on how to run JavaScript code from Golang with Chrome V8 engine. You can refer to that, and that also lists the problems that there is. So the result of that issue was that Node.js had to go and the site hasn't crashed ever since. 100% uptime. It's been 1 year now. Okay, now another possibility is that maybe Entry can sponsor this. Jolie Appakutun will just redirect to Entry.com. Why not? So that is another possibility that one can make with this. If anybody at Entry is hearing this, please sponsor. Okay, and I'd like to thank you because this got I expected more contributors than usual because some people actually made PRs to the repo and improved stuff there. And I didn't have to review much. So 100% PR merge is one of the things that's happening in the repo. And that's it. And if you want to see more of my projects, you can go to my domain. I think I have one more Malayalam related project coming up in next month or next month. I think I will probably present a talk on that next month. Yeah, so that is basically Kitun.com. Thanks. Anybody has any questions?
What's the Malayalam for Mac sports?
Yeah. So this is a project that I've been maintaining for since 2017. You can go to this domain varnamproject.com. This is currently available for Linux and Mac. Mac was the recent one, just the last one, but this is more supported more on Linux. But Mac didn't have proper tool for Malayalam. So this is a predictive test. So you can as you type more and more words, it will suggest that words also. It's a learning system as well. So you can use that. But the installation is a bit complicated, but it will work and it will work everywhere. No. Everything is open source. No servers involved. Everything is happening local. I'm also skeptical when I use an input to myself. I don't want anyone else seeing what I'm typing. So yeah, that's the main important part when you type it. Another rant I can give. Google input tools is the one that most people are using these days. And the thing is that whatever you type, at least for pencil, is something that you're physically writing there. You won't allow another company to own your pencil. So that's something core to what it is. So this has to be open source. That's the main point. A pencil has to be open source as well. So hence why everything source code, everything is entirely open source with one. You can inspect the code itself here. Anything else? Okay, yeah, you can go. The repo is at I hope the stars increase today. That's it. Thank you.